Hello everybody, Grizzly Pig here. Welcome to today's episode. We are playing Ark Survival Ascended and we are on the Scorched Earth map, as you can see. And today we are going to be farming death worms, and we are looking for black pearls and the death worm horns, of course, here. And you can see where we are on the map, straight into it. We are literally checking just in one grid. This is how I farm them. I'm going to talk a little bit about how they spawn, where we're going and stuff like that, and things we can do to make them spawn more regularly where we want them to as well. I've watched a lot of videos and seen a lot of screenshots about spawn locations and stuff like this, and this is my summary of what I find to be the best way to find the death worms consistently. I usually find one every 3 to 5 minutes doing this location here once it's in full swing, and I'll tell you more about how we can get this location giving us the most we can. So basically we are checking 2 locations. I'm going to pin them up here. You can see on the map where we are, but I'm going to put up a little map you can see for your own reference here. So this is going to be loop A. We are basically going from one point to the other across the top of this little square here in the desert, and we are circling round, and if this doesn't work we've then got a loop B, which is basically an extension on this one, and if then none spawn we'll go back and do this one again, and then ultimately there will be another way we're going to try and get them to spawn here as well, which involves eliminating all the spawns that could possibly be in other places as well, and that's plan C. So you can see we've already got a death worm here, so this is good news. If you find one in this location, that means that we're on a roll and we can get them to spawn again and again and again here, and that's because the way that the spawns work in this game is to do with the players rendering them in. If there is if a death worm can spawn on the map and it hasn't yet, if you look at a spawn location, there is a good chance it will spawn in that location you look at. That's because of the way the map goes into stasis when someone hasn't rendered a part of the map in. And if someone else is flying about around another part of the world and just minding their own business doing something else, and they fly over a spawn location, they can spawn one in as well. So that will cause this to not work effectively for us. So if you start the run and there are death worms in other locations, we're going to maybe have to clean those up first before we come here and do this very efficient AFK no-brainer loop here. So there might be a little bit of setup, but if you're lucky and you come out here and you see one death worm, the chances are you can just keep doing this loop again and again and again. So we've got one there, another one can potentially spawn about where I am on the map now, and then another one just in front of us again. So there's 3 specific spots in this very small area here, and we just keep flying around until we get another one again. And if we don't get one within 2 or 3 minutes, then we'll switch to loop B, which I will ping on the screen now for you. In fact, we're actually doing the loop B now. You can see it's just an extension. It involves going into the adjacent grids to the east, to the northeast, and the north as well, just expanding that grid, because at any point along where we're going now there can be death worms spawning here as well. But the loop A is the best one to do. It's where they will spawn most commonly, and it's easiest to get them to spawn. And we'll find that none will spawn here, but that could be just because the spawns are on a cooldown. So when you kill one, another one won't spawn for some minutes. There's a global cooldown on the. That's just how it works. And I don't know what you guys think, but I'm thinking it's possibly 3 can spawn on the map at a time. It may be 4 or 5. I'm not sure. I can't confirm it because there's probably some locations that I'm not checking that I don't know about, but I know most of the locations where they spawn. And if this route doesn't work at all for you, that's like you cannot get any to spawn, then you've got the option of clearing all of the spawn locations up, going around to all the different ones around the map and clearing those up first. Or you can just say, forget about this for now, I'll do something else and I'll come back to it later. That's also a viable thing to do. You don't, if you're not that bothered about getting them straight away and you've got other things to do, because going around the other parts of the map, it involves going to the west and the east of the map. If you're on a Wyvern, it doesn't take that long, but it's just something you might not want to bother with. You can see the stats on the Wyvern here, so I recommend going with something like 15,000 HP. That allows you to kill 6 at a time in one trip, at least, unless you hit an alpha. The alphas don't seem to spawn that regularly. I've found 2 or 3. And they're quite tough. They do a lot more damage than normal ones, and they don't generally give you as many black pearls. You will get usually 0 to, I've had 18 black pearls. I want to say maybe they can drop 20. So you'll usually 50% of the time get no black pearls, but when you do get black pearls, you'll get between 4 and 20 maybe a time. I recommend that you have 1400 to 1500 stamina on your Wyvern, just so that if you're flying about and then you do find one and land, then you can use your special attack and not have to sit tanking it for a little while like I did on the last one there. Because my stamina ran out, I had to get my stamina back and tank a few shots from the Death Worm to be able to use my fire breath. Melee damage, I've got 500 here. 400 is absolutely fine. Just get that as high as you can. So yeah, I would say they're the only things that really matter. The 15k HP is important, and I prefer the Fire Wyvern personally. It's just my personal preference. Lightning Wyvern's also really amazing to use as well. I don't really use the Poison Wyvern so much. When I'm hunting eggs, I generally don't pick them up, because I just find that I use the Fire Wyvern a lot more when I'm out in the world, and the Lightning Wyvern I use for bosses as well. I'm going to do the Manticore boss and show you a video of doing that as well. It's incredibly easy to do the Manticore boss. It's pretty much an AFK fest, a bit like this. You can do this tactic here, farming the Death Worms, and just do something else at the same time on your second screen. Super easy. Another thing I want to talk about is the way you actually can see or hear a Death Worm. A lot of people are like, well, in Survival Evolved you used to not be able to see them very easily compared to the old game. Sorry, now they're harder to see is what I mean. That is the case. You see a little cloud of dust coming towards you when you're very close to them now, if you're lucky. But not many people talk about the fact that actually you can hear them before you see them very often. You'll either hear the rumble across the ground coming towards you, or you'll hear a really deep screeching sound coming at you. So listen out for that sound, because if you hear that and you didn't see it, go back and check it, because there's almost definitely going to be one there for sure. Your Wyvern's going to make some strange noises from time to time, and if you're in a thunderstorm, that can throw you off. But that's pretty much it. So thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it, and let me know how you got on with this. Please like, subscribe and comment, and I will catch you next time.